Welcome back to Low Country Spotlight. I'm your host, Margie Pizarro. Now, in our last segment, we talked to Kristen Fry, who is the communications coordinator for the Somerville Family YMCA. And now we have with us in the studio Amanda Metzger. And Amanda is the, and I'm probably going to get it wrong, so she's going to help me. You are the
Director of Corporate and Community Relations.
Okay, Director of Corporate and Community Relations, just as she said. Now, when we spoke with Kristen talked about the fact that one of the thrusts of the Y is for social responsibility, and she talked about a diabetes prevention program that is one of its kind that you all are doing here at the Somerville Family YMCA. Why don't you start telling us a little bit about that program?
Yeah, so the YMCA's diabetes prevention program is targeted at those that are at risk for developing type 2 diabetes, so they have pre-diabetes.
Okay.
And what that means is that your blood sugar levels are elevated, but just not high enough for a type 2 diabetes diagnosis.
Okay. What have you found just from the Y's research in community about how prevalent of a problem that is?
Yeah, there are actually 86 million Americans that have pre-diabetes, but only 9 million know that they have it.
How do you find out that you? How do you find out that you have it, or that you don't have it? What do you do?
Right. Basically, it's that regular checkup with your doctor, and we can determine whether you are pre-diabetic based on first those blood values that your doctor can give you. But if a blood test isn't available, we can kind of go through a risk assessment, talk about family history and some other topics.
I'm sure family history, diet, exercise, or lack thereof. And these, again, from what we heard from Kristen, is probably a part of the wellness thrust that the Y is undertaking.
Yeah, so of course, diabetes prevention, big part of the healthy living, but also social responsibility, really trying to take ownership of that and get in the community and make a difference with that.
And you know, when we talked about social responsibility earlier, I did not think that it would be connected to diabetes, because it seems like that is something that is so personal, whereas social responsibility, you normally think of what you do to help the community or things that you shouldn't do that hurt the community. How is diabetes prevention tied into that particular thrust?
I think it's just getting out in the community, like you said, and being part of that awareness piece, letting the community know what is pre-diabetes and how is the Y here to help me through that.
And it seems like it's a wonderful opportunity. Now, tell us a little bit more about what your research has shown by getting involved in a program like the pre-diabetes. How will that affect someone in long term?
Absolutely. So the YMCA's diabetes prevention program is being offered nationally at different YMCA's. The Somerville Family YMCA was actually the first Y in the state of South Carolina to start the program.
That is awesome.
We're really excited about that. And the research has been done by the National Institutes of Health and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and it proves that going through this program and making the lifestyle changes that we're asking people to do reduces the risk of developing type 2 diabetes by 58%.
Wow.
And it's actually 71% if you're over the age of 60.
What are the statistics for people who have diabetes in South Carolina or even nationwide?
South Carolina ranks 4th highest in the country for diabetes rates.
You're kidding me. You're kidding. And like my mom has diabetes, and my mom takes insulin, and I see her do that, but I don't, what causes it? I know diet and exercise and things of that nature, but is there anything specific to pinpoint?
You can't pinpoint one thing. It could be the family history, and sometimes different factors play into it, but you can't necessarily pinpoint it. But what we do know is that physical activity and healthy eating can significantly reduce your risk for developing the disease. And pre-diabetes is reversible, but type 2 diabetes isn't. So it's great to catch those people when they're in that range.
Right. Well, talk to us a little bit about when you are in the pre-diabetes. I know you alluded to a little bit earlier. What are some of the things that you should look for in your body in terms of changes and symptoms?
There's not necessarily, again, a cold cut symptom that you can have to be, quote, pre-diabetic. It's just really that blood level that your doctor can give you, and knowing your family history, and if you think that that's going to affect you.
And quite honestly, if you have the combination of the blood level and then the family history, a lot of people, you know, it's out of sight, out of mind. You know, if I'm not being affected, I'm not going to do anything to change it.
I think historically it's been a lot of, they go to their physician and they say you're borderline, they like to call it that, and then we'll just keep an eye on it. And then they keep an eye on it until you are diabetic, and they can treat you with medication. So what we're trying to do, like Kristen alluded to, kind of taking that more holistic approach and catching it before we have to do the medication. And working really closely with a lot of primary care physicians to get their patients referred into our program and trying to stop them from doing that.
Right. So, yeah, that was my next question. How do you even get involved? Do you join the Y, as Kristen talked about, and then get in the program that way? Is it a referral from a physician? How do you get in the program?
Sure. We are working, like I said, with the community to raise awareness. You do not have to be a member to participate in the program, and we will scholarship the program as well, because we really want to be able to reach anyone in the community that needs this program.
Well, how did Somerville Family YMCA, how did you all become the first in the state to do this?
YUSA nationally has really been pushing the program, and South Carolina has geared together to kind of begin the program and spearhead it in our state. So we actually have, in our alliance of YMCAs, I believe 13 Ys that'll be ready in 2016 to begin offering the program.
Wow. Now, what does the program consist of?
Yep. So we start out with some weekly sessions. So there's 16 weekly sessions, there's 3 bi-weekly sessions, and 6 monthly sessions. So it's a 12-month program, which is great. Because instead of a physician saying, well, you need to eat right and exercise, they can't go to the gym with you every day and have you do that. But we're here to hold your hand, help you through the whole process, and make small, measurable changes over that length of time. So we're not asking you to meet all your goals in 2 months or in 3 months. We're talking about a long process. So the goal is that they lose 7% of their body weight, and they move up to 150 minutes of physical activity a week, which is about a 30-minute walk 5 times a week.
Oh, wow. Now, from your research, has it shown that obesity levels and having a high percentage of body fat, is that one of the contributing factors?
It is one of the qualifications for the program, so that you need to be 18 or over. You need to have a BMI that's greater than or equal to 25, and then be at risk for type 2 diabetes.
Okay, and pursuant to the family history and the
blood work.
And the blood work.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so 12 months, that seems like an awfully long time to commit to going to the Y and classes and things of that nature.
Well, it's once a week, like we said, so it ends up being 25 sessions over the course of the year, so not quite as daunting, and you really do, it's a group-based class, so you really get to know the people in your class, and it's they have a lifestyle coach that's with them. It's the same coach through the whole program.
And I'm sure there's something to be said about accountability, because as you said, you know, you go to the doctor, you get that blood level checked, you talk about the family history, and the doctor's like, okay, well, I'm going to just watch you. We're going to monitor it. And if you don't have anyone to help you make those lifestyle changes, you're going to be from pre-diabetic to full-blown diabetic.
Absolutely. And we are working with the physicians closely, so there's a constant feedback loop. So when a physician refers their patient to me, we can talk to the physician, let them know the patient's progress at week 8, week 16, kind of at the end, and let them know how they're doing. And they can also let us know how their blood work's doing, and we can see how it goes down throughout the class, which is exciting.
Now, I know we're just starting the program here, but do you have any statistics from where any other communities have gone through the program or had this some type of program to talk about the success of it?
Yeah, we get to share success stories across the country with other Ys. So like I said, nationally, the Y is about at a 5% average weight loss, which is, we know that at 5%, that's where the risk reduction starts, which is really exciting.
Wonderful. This has, we're out of time. This has been Amanda Metzger, and she's got this long title that you see it on the bottom of the screen, but please contact the Somerville Family YMCA to learn more about the wonderful programs they're doing. And don't go anywhere, we've got more Low Country Spotlight coming up.